Despite 3 abstentions from Russia, the United States and the United Kingdom, the binding resolution made it across the finish line, but its impact on the ground is what really matters. And the early indications are that this will be minimal at best.
Israel does not need a resolution to remind us to adhere to international law. Israel always adheres to international law. Hamas, the party that will refuse to accept this resolution, will not even bother reading it. Hence, this resolution does nothing to contribute to the situation on the ground. Bringing our hostages home is Israel's top priority. And seeing as Security Council resolutions hold no sway with terrorists, Israel will continue to do whatever it takes to accomplish this goal.
Reacting to the resolution, Palestine's envoy argued that it didn't go far enough.
The Security Council should have called for a ceasefire a long time ago. It should have called for a ceasefire now. It should have heeded the call by the UN and every humanitarian organization on earth calling for a humanitarian ceasefire, including the Secretary General of the United Nations. It should have been convinced that there is no military solution, especially one that relies on the commission of atrocities, and it should have advanced political ones. The resolution in its OP1 demands that all parties comply with their obligations under international law, including international humanitarian law, notably with regard to the protection of civilians, especially children. We are fully committed to these rules, all of them. But do they apply to Israel?
Outside the chamber, tough questions to council members on whether this text had any hopes of being implemented.
The resolution was an important statement by the council on the situation on the ground in Gaza that focused on the humanitarian situation, and we do look forward to it having an impact on the ground.
Malta, that authored the text and led negotiations on it, lamented Israel's reaction to the adoption.
The Security Council is the highest body in multinational diplomacy, and the resolutions of the Council are immediately binding on all members. So it is very disappointing that this would be the initial reaction of Israel, especially since they have said that they are already abiding by the provisions of this resolution. Therefore, it should have been a continuation of what they are doing, if that was the case. So we hope that they take the time to read the resolution and to see what it says.
The United Arab Emirates is currently the only Arab state serving in the Council.
This is the Security Council's work. This is the toolkit that we have, and we have utilized it to the furthest possible extent today. And I think that's a first step. It won't bring back those lives. We all feel devastated by that. But it is difficult geopolitical times, and to bring the unity of the Council today to speak with one voice on this subject that has haunted all of us over the last month is, I think, a momentous resolution for the sake of children.
While the Arab group at the UN called the text an important first step.
This is a small step that we see might be done through this resolution, but also in the same time, we're going to see how it's going to be implemented, and we want to call for accountability for those who will not comply. And this is very important. We'll be following this, and we're looking forward also on Friday, where we're going to be holding a humanitarian briefing in the General Assembly that we have called as the Arab group and the Islamic group, and there we will see what the situation is. And we always have to focus on saving lives, and this is our ultimate goal in this stage.
The resolution requests the Secretary General to report back on implementation to the Council at the next mandated meeting on the situation in the Middle East. Shervin Brycepease, SABC News, New York.